The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of planting seeds and gardening. Oh, it's almost spring. I'm so excited, guys. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. Um I'm going to be starting some plants inside because it's my 5th year gardening. I'm going to share with you the tips and tricks and things I've learned along the way about starting seeds inside, and let's see how we do. All right. The first thing you need when starting seeds is something to start them in. The reason we have this clear plastic on top is to help create a greenhouse environment where the sun goes in and heats up the soil and heats up the plants so that the seeds begin to sprout. A second thing you need is you need a cup with a drainage hole. It doesn't have to be fancy from the store. It can be a Dixie cup if you want it to. The third thing you need is a tray for it to sit in, because when the water drains out, it's nice for it to drain into a tray so that it can bottom water and soak up. You don't want your seed drowning in water, and you don't want it totally dried out either. You want that middle ground of moist soil. Your seed doesn't want to sit in water, and your seed doesn't want to sit in dry dirt. Your seed wants to sit in that nice moist soil is what it needs. The next thing you need is sunlight. If you cannot set it directly outside or directly in a windowsill that receives a lot of sun, you're going to need what I have, which I bought this set. This set was $26 online. And I realize that's pricey, but it's cheaper than getting all of these starter plants, right? So it came with a bunch of these trays and stuff. And then you see this? It has holes on top. It has this is to create, you hook it up and plug it in, and it's to create light and air. So it's supposed to, it has a light and it blows air. You see, God created plants so that when the seedlings start, they need water, which is rain. God provides it, right? They need sunlight, which we can make the artificial light to put it directly on there, because otherwise the plants don't do well. And the third thing they need is they need that moving air, like the wind outside. So we have to artificially produce it inside. Now, if you don't want to buy the specific things like this, you can put just like a regular fan on it, or put it either outside when the weather's nice and bring it in when it gets too cold, or whatever you need to do. And the other thing that's very, very helpful, especially with getting the plants to germinate, and plants that like warmer soil, like our pepper plants and maybe our tomatoes, but mostly pepper plants, is a heat mat. What this is you plug it in, and it's going to set underneath these containers, and it's going to warm up your soil. If your soil is not warm enough, your seeds might not germinate. It depends, depends on the seed, depends on the temperature, but they might not germinate. So those are some of the things you need. And then as the weather's nice, it's going to be great to start acclimating your plants to being outside. Bring them out when it's nice. If it's rainy, bring it in. If it's freezing, bring them in. If the wind is too strong, bring them in. But it's going to be good to, when the weather's just perfect, when it's warm and sunshiny and the weather's not too crazy, it's going to be good to bring those plants out and start to acclimate them to outside. Okay. So another thing I didn't know this came with the set, is these are cool little tools. Now, I had already brought down, if I was going to use these, right? You can use a chopstick or a scooper or a spoon from your kitchen or whatever, but I like these more because these came with the set. So, I paid $26. I might as well get my money's worth out of it. Now, I'm going to explain to you why I'm growing lots of fruits and vegetables and flowers in my garden, but a lot of those plants do great when you direct sow them at the right time. But tomatoes and peppers are good to start early. A lot of the gardeners and gardening groups that I'm in for my area have already started their peppers and their tomatoes inside, or they're planning on doing it soon. When I mentioned maybe starting okra inside, they said, no, just direct sow it outside. So I'm new to growing okra, but it's much better to direct sow cucumbers, peas, green beans, uh, cilantro, basil, like pretty much everything else that I'm growing. It's better just to direct sow it because they're not going to like the transplant from inside to outside. They might not do as well inside. So these are the ones I want to grow. So this is this is the closest seed I could get to my favorite kind of plant. Our favorite kind of tomato plant. Our favorite tomato plant is called a yellow sun gold sugar cherry tomato. This is called a honeycomb hybrid. That's the closest seed I could find, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty close to exactly the same. I'm excited to try it because the description says that these taste like honey. Now, the reason I decided to just grow our favorite kind of tomato instead of a bunch of different kinds of tomatoes is because sometimes tomato plants die, and it's a huge tragedy if your favorite tomato plant dies. So I just decided this year we're going to just grow a bunch of our favorite tomato plant. Now, I want to grow 8 tomato plants. So I'm going to start 16 seeds. Why? Because some of these might not survive, and I would rather have more than not enough, right? And I can always share with friends. Secondly, I want to grow bell peppers. We love growing bell peppers in containers. We're going to grow a ton of them. I want to grow like 20 bell pepper plants. And if you're growing bell pepper, you might as well grow the grand bell mix, which means your bell pepper is going to be bigger. So we like these snackable yellow sun gold honeycomb cherry tomatoes, and we like these huge bell peppers. Now, it's my 5th year gardening, so I've discovered that grow your favorite things. Grow what you like snacking on. Grow what your family likes eating because it's not worth it to grow. For example, one year I grew eggplant and I had a huge crop of eggplant, but it was my 1st year gardening. And I realized when I had this huge crop of so many eggplants, they went to waste and they ended up thrown away because nobody in my family eats eggplant. So grow what you're going to eat, right? Okay, I'm going to get started. Now, I have to say, in the past, I got Miracle-Gro starting soil. All the gardeners, all the professional gardeners in the group say, don't put Miracle-Gro. It's not good, blah, blah, blah. If Miracle-Gro is what you bought, just use it. But I want to, follow the experts, what they're saying. And I decided to get this natural organic seed starting mix and see if there's a difference, right? What the gardeners say about Miracle-Gro is that it has a bunch of unneeded chemicals and things in it, and it is what it is, to each their own. But we're gonna try out what nobody specifically said that this one was a good one, but this is what Walmart had, and I thought, let's try it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That light fluffy soil is what you want. I'm gonna start scooping it into here. Okay, so I've got this teensy tiny little scooper. And then what the instructions say for starting the soil is that you want to wet or water, like moisten your soil before you plant your seed, which is interesting because I never read those instructions before. I always thought like water it when you plant the seed, and really either one works, but it was interesting to see that. So I'm going to try that. Wet the soil first and then plant the seed, because really the seed just wants to be in moist soil, which this soil right here is a little dry, a little on the dry side. So we'll see what we're going to do here. So I'm just filling these up. So I'm filling it all the way up because these are pretty small. That way we can grow a good little plant in there. Now, as the plant grows, I will transfer it when it's bigger to a Dixie cup with a hole in the bottom. Now, some of these seeds that I start, the plants may sprout and then they may get leggy and they might not survive. And some of them might do really well. And then later, I might have to replant a seed. Some gardeners, what they do is they will plant 2 seeds, like 2 tomato seeds per pod. And this is what like gardeners that grow a lot of tomatoes and stuff will do. And then they'll see like 2 plants sprout up, they'll pick the stronger plant and they'll pull the smaller plant. Now, I'm gardening on a budget. Me personally, just my personal preference, I'm not going to do that because that's a waste of a seed. And it's like, these are my little plant babies. I don't want to like get rid of them or hurt them or anything. So each cell is going to be a different seed. And if it's an unsuccessful seedling, then I will start another seed. It's okay. But just to show that different gardeners choose different methods of starting seeds. And I just want to tell you some of the different methods so you can choose what's best for you, right? I think of these little plants as my little plant babies, so I don't want to like purposefully kill one just because it's smaller than a sprawler. Who's outside the door? Hi, Joshy. Hey, Joshy, can you bring me a sippy cup of water like the red cup that I had yesterday? I meant to bring it down, but I didn't. Do you mind doing that for me, best friend? Can you bring me a sippy cup of water for me to use? I'm planting some seeds. Thank you, bud. Thanks. I love my little garden helpers. My kids are getting to the age where they love helping in the garden. All right. So since he's going to go get my water for me, I'm going to go ahead and just keep filling up different trays with soil. I have a windowsill in my kitchen where I'm going to have these set up. Okay, so okay, awesome. I thought I had 4. I actually have 5 of these, which is wonderful. So there's 5, and then let's count how many there are. There's 3 across and 4 down, so 12. So 12 times 5, you guys are probably better than math at me. 0, carry the 1. 5 times 1 plus 1. So it's like 60, right? 12 times 5 is 60. I knew that, come to think of it. So there's 60 little cells for growing seedlings. And now for my size of garden, that is perfection. That's perfection because I am just starting my I was going to say peas and carrots, my tomatoes and my peppers inside, and the rest I'm going to direct sow outside. My peas and my carrots, I'm going to direct sow outside because they're going to do a lot better that way. You can't really transplant a carrot, and pea plants really don't transplant that awesomely either. A lot of people do it, but I prefer not to. They do a lot better direct sowing. In fact, this early in the year, I can direct sow peas and potatoes right now. In fact, I had planned to do it today, but it's pretty cold out, so I am going to wait. Technically, I'm supposed to wait for St. Patrick's Day, which is 1 more week, but looking at the forecast, it's not too bad. Right now, today, it is raining outside, and it's pretty chilly, so I'm holding off on planting my peas and potatoes, but I have been building trellises and structures that I'm planning on growing my peas on. And I did buy some soil today at the store. And I bought 4 little perennial flower plants. A couple of them are daffodils. A couple of them are... Okay, I have misplaced where I set that thing. My scooper is missing. What has happened? Oh, I pranked myself. It's right here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started scooping the soil into here. But yeah, I've been building lots of trellises out of secondhand worn out old mini trampolines. I've been turning them into trellises. And today in the mail, I'm getting another galvanized raised bed. That's going to be the last one that I put in my garden with a trampoline trellis. So I still have 1 more trampoline trellis to build and 1 more galvanized raised bed to build. And I'm going to be putting soil, and I'm planning on planting my peas, my sugar snap peas, and my potatoes outside pretty soon. Now, I don't know if I have enough seed potatoes. I might have to buy some at the store, but I do have some seed potatoes from last year. And I'm going to check if some of my potatoes perhaps have sprouted. I think they have, and I might plant some of those as well. I've experimented a lot in the past growing seeds in buckets. Seed potatoes in growing potatoes in buckets, growing them in ground, growing them in raised beds, and growing them in what are those called? Grow bags. The grow bags were not very successful for me. The buckets, not very successful for me, but in ground and in raised beds were the most successful. So this year I'm going to be growing more potatoes in raised beds along my fence line, where I'm also going to be having my sugar snap peas. Now my sugar snap peas survive for longer if they're in the shade. A lot of my other plants don't do well in shade. They need full sun. And so I'm going to have things like my the shade loving cooler plants like the lettuce and the peas are going to be in the shade. All right, so here we go. The one thing I need that I don't have is I need a Sharpie marker to be able to mark what I have grown on these. So now I have 2 of these filled up. I'm going to keep going. It's very important to put the tray underneath it because when you water it, it's going to start to leak water out the bottom, and you're going to want to, and even some soil will leak out a little bit, tiny bit. Okay, I've got a little bit of I'm just cleaning up the soil that's on my table here, put it in there. All right. We're going for tray number 3. I want to pull these apart without breaking them. I like that since I spent more money on these, they're better quality, so they're a thicker plastic. When you buy cheapo ones, like at Dollar Tree or something, they're going to break easily. So sometimes it's worth it to spend a little bit more money to get better quality things, right? That way, actually, you get your money's worth out of it because you can reuse it year after year, whereas maybe the Dollar Tree ones might not. Thanks, buddy. High five, Joshy. Are you wanting to help me?
Yeah.
Well, you can't sit in this chair because I'm using it right now. But how about you get a sucker for being a helper? Can you get a sucker for your brother too?
Okay, but can I still be in here?
Can you be in here? Yeah, but do you want to have your iPad in, or do you want to help with this?
Help with that.
Okay, deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this sippy cup of water that Joshy just so graciously shared with me. Now this is pretty nice. Dollar Tree also has like little watering cans, which we have some of them. I just would have to track them down. We're just using a sippy cup for easier because that's what we happen to have. But you could also take a water bottle and poke a hole in the bottle. That's what a lot of people do. Well, I mean a hole in the lid. Okay, so I'm moistening the soil before I plant the seeds. I already did that one, darling. So tell me what you like to grow. Let's talk about what do you like to, oh, sorry. Joshy, can you say what your name is? What's your name?
Joshy.
Joshy, how old are you?
6.
Do you like to grow things in the garden?
I like to grow strawberries.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are your favorite things to grow in the garden? You like to grow strawberries? What else do you like to grow in the garden?
Blueberries.
Blueberries. We're going to grow even more blueberry plants this year.
Carrots.
Carrots. Ooh, what else do you like to grow in the garden? Do you like to grow blackberries?
Maybe sugar snap peas and raspberries and blackberries.
Ooh, those are all great. Let's think what else.
That's it.
Do you like tomatoes?
Not much.
Not much.
I only like the ketchup with it.
Oh, you like ketchup tomato? You like tomato ketchup? Do you like bell peppers?
Not much.
Like this?
I like it when it cuts.
Do you like these?
What are those?
I think it's mostly your sisters and me that like those ones, right? Let's see. Do you like watermelon?
Yes.
And this year we're going to grow pumpkins for the first time. Do you like pumpkins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit.
What do you like? Oh, we're going to grow some daffodil flowers. Do you like those? The yellow flowers. How about...
Yeah, they're going to grow soon.
How about the really tall sunflowers? Do you like those?
What?
Sunflowers?
Yeah.
The really tall ones?
I like sunflowers and roses.
And roses. Yes, I'm going to have more roses this year, too.
Because roses are red. Yeah. And I also like to plant sunflowers. And that's it.
I love it. Awesome.
You almost finished there?
And I like growing cilantro. I spilled. Oh no, what are we gonna do? It's so messy. Good thing I have a broom and a dustpan in here. The floor is just cement. It's not that big of a deal. If I spill a little dirt, it's no big deal. Now, what's the difference between dirt and soil? The difference between dirt and soil is nutrients. The dirt out in the ground is kind of like dead.
Nutrients.
Nutrients is like vitamins and minerals and things that your plants need to grow. So you don't just need any old dirt. You need some healthy soil. Healthy soil or compost that maybe has some...
It looks like popsicle cans.
Manure in it or some...
it almost looks like popsicle cans, except it's a square.
It does. Thanks for separating that for me. Good job. Here. Oops, I'm dropping that. Sorry, can you hand that to me, baby?
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll get that.
We're pranking ourselves over and over again, aren't we? We keep dropping stuff.
Here you go.
Thanks, bud. I love this little scooper. It's so perfect. All right, there we go. This thing is useful. I love it. I saw it in the picture of what I was ordering, but I thought they were like suggesting also order this tool from us. And I'm like, nah, because you could just use a spoon. That is a heating mat to heat up the soil. All right. Do you want to put some water on here?
Sure.
Okay. Let's do it together. You don't want way too much water. You just want just enough to moisten the soil so you don't have dry soil. All right, friend. There we go. We have those. Now we have 3 trays that are ready. We are going to do 2 more trays. Oh, goodness. All right, I need another. Oh, you're helping me. Thank you, bud. You're so strong. Thanks, friend. You don't have to separate those, please. Leave them. Okay. We're getting 2 more trays ready.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's pretty cool. Also, you're not going to leave the clear lid on it always. It's just mostly for like while it's germinating or like when you want to have the light and fan on it. If there's sunlight or like a living room fan, or if you're setting it outside, you don't need the clear lid on top. The clear lid is mostly for germination purposes.
If I will imagine, I think that will protect the flowers.
Oh, yeah?
From someone who's going to steal the flowers.
I think that someone who's going to steal could pick it up and take it off, couldn't they? You're imagining that it's a force field, I think is what you mean. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a cool imagination you got, bud. So, oopsies. My phone's ringing and I don't know where it is. Oh. Yeah, babe.
The kids are asking when is the pizza being ready.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna make it in a minute. Bye bye.
Bye, Daddy.
All right, I'm gonna make lunch in a minute. I'm just finishing this up real quick. Mm-hmm. You want me to go make the pizza? I'm gonna go make pizza for lunch. So let me do this. You know what? I'm just gonna show how we do this. Start the seed. We'll set that one to the side for later. We're gonna go ahead and start our seeds, right? Okay. Darling, excuse me, love. You are right in my way, baby. Okay. All right. Since I don't have dry erase marker, since I don't have a permanent marker, I'll use my dry erase. That is not going to work. Ha ha ha. Excuse me, baby. Let's see. That'll work. Tomato.
What about this one?
Sure, maybe. All right, so I'm going to do all of these tomato.
Here you go.
I'm gonna poke into the soil with this. Here.
Evelyn Joy.
I've got soil all over me. Okay.
I'm pretending drawing
One.
your...
2. Well, you know what I'm gonna do. I was trying to poke holes and did not work. So we're going to set this. Set the little. Joshua, thank you. Do you want me to make pizza in a minute?
Sure.
Is that what you came down for? Oh golly! I have dropped my seed packet. There we go. Got it. I'm just gonna tear it. All right.
I'm going to appear so I won't be late for class.
Oh yeah, you have class. Online class in a little bit.
Bye.
Wow, this seed packet has like very few seeds in it. Look at that. You see that?
The seed pack has a big...
Joshy, don't worry about it. Bye-bye. Okay, but that might be 16 seeds. That's what I need. So I'm going to put the seeds in and then press them down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So I have a few left. I'm going to put back into the seed packet. They literally were like, for $1.96, you can have 20 seeds. How about that? Okay, thanks, I guess. We're going to press it down. Pressing down our seed. Now, tomato seeds are tiny, as you may know. So we're going to press it down just a tiny bit in the soil and cover it up with soil. There we go. Pressing it down. So it'll need warm soil first and foremost. And once it starts to sprout, it will need sunlight. You can use a grow light, but it's best if it's in a windowsill, and you can use some grow light maybe at nighttime or something. So yeah, there we go. We're pressing them down. There we go. Okay. So we've got one tray of tomato seedlings, and I marked on it that these are my tomato seedlings. If I was growing different kinds of tomatoes, I would want to mark which kinds I had, but we're working smarter, not harder over here. So there we have that. I'm just going to do one tray of pepper plants. I'm going to put bell peppers. So I have marked it, and I'm going to open my bell pepper seeds. These were $2 for this packet of seeds. And it feels like there's more than the tomato seeds, but the seeds are bigger for peppers. They're about twice the size of... Yeah, that's a good number of seeds in there. Thank you. For $2. At least I've got like 30 or 40 seeds in there. It's better than 20. All right. I'm going to put one seed in each cell. We have 1, 2, 3. Should I move my camera so you can see what I'm doing? There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I probably have like 50 pepper seeds in there, which is lovely. So I'm going to fold that over twice. If I had a paper clip, I would put it on it. But then you want to put it like in a Ziploc bag. So if any seeds come out, you're containing it, right? I'm going to go ahead and put both of these. These seeds are golden. All right, let's see. And I'm going to press these down, press on the seeds with this tool right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, it's time for me to make some pizza for my family for lunch. But yeah, I'll come back to this later on today. Put the lid on there so I know those are the two that I have made. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to give a thumbs up, a like, maybe share it with someone who's learning how to garden. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. I'll make more videos as they progress. Stay tuned. Have a great day.